students. Today we are going to continue the same chapter, organizing the delegation of authority. So first you have to know what is meant by the delegation of authority. So in every organization, managers are assigned some of the work. So comparing to the employees, the managers' work is somewhat high, and the managers alone cannot perform all the work. Okay, so in that condition, he divides, that is the manager will divides the work among the different individuals working under him. Okay, so he will divide the work as per the qualification, and he will get the work which is done by them. Okay, so it is called as the delegation of authority. So the manager begins with sharing of his responsibilities with his subordinates and he deliberately passes his responsibility to his subordinates. So after passing the responsibilities, the managers also shares some of his authority to the each individuals. Okay, that is the power to make the decision with his subordinates. So he will give certain powers to the subordinates to take certain decisions relating to the work, so that the responsibilities can be carried out properly, giving some of the power or authority to the individuals or the employees to do their work, so that they can be able to do their work properly, and having each and every individual will have the certain responsibility to do and complete the work. Okay, to make sure that his subordinates perform all the work effectively and efficiently in the expected manner. So the manager creates accountability, and this whole process is called as the delegation. Okay, so the delegation can be defined as an process of entrusting responsibility and authority to whom? To the subordinates and creating accountability. Creating accountability means responsibility. Accountability is nothing but responsibility, and creating accountability on those employees who are entrusted the responsibility and authority. So it is the meaning of the term delegation of authority. Okay. So next we are going to see what are all the elements of delegation, process or elements of delegation. It's a very important topic. So from this delegation of authority there will be one more question. Okay, so see, the first one is the authority. First you are going to see about the authority. So authority means the power to take certain decisions. Okay, to carry on the responsibilities, every employee needs certain authority. So when the managers are passing their responsibility to the subordinates, they also pass some of the authority to the subordinates also. So the delegating authority, it is one of the element of, that is authority. Delegating authority is one of the element or step of the delegation. Okay, so while sharing the authority, managers keep in mind the very important point, while distributing the work to the employees, the managers should share the authority as per the, it should be matched with the responsibility. Okay, and they shall not pass all the authority to their subordinates. It's a very important point. Okay, so what are the features of authority? We have to know. In the formal organization, authority originate from an individual possessor. And authority refers to the right to take decision. Okay, these are all some of the features. And it also determines the superior subordinate relationship. So the subordinate communicates his decision freely and having the full freedom to communicate all the decisions to the subordinates, to the other subordinates, and he will give certain directions to do the work properly. Okay, and authority is restricted by the law and rules and regulations of the organization. So the authority rising from the scalar chain, so we already studied, so as per the job position, and authority flows downward. Authorities flow downward from the superior to the subordinate, because authority is given by the superior to the subordinate, so it is coming downward arrow from the superior to the subordinate. So authority must be equal to the responsibility. So authority is equal to responsibility. It is one of the element of delegation. Next one is the responsibility. So what is my responsibility? Responsibility means the work assigned to an individual. So it includes all the physical and mental activities to be performed by the employees at a particular job position. Okay, so the responsibility includes both the physical and mental activities of the employees. So the process of delegation begins when the manager passes some of his responsibility to his subordinates. Okay, which means responsibilities can also be delegated. Okay, so passing of responsibility from the superior to the subordinates. So some of the features of responsibilities is the obligation of the subordinate. It is one of the obligation from the superior to the subordinate to perform the work which is assigned to him. Okay, and it creates the superior subordinate relationship also. And it is the authority is the downward flow and responsibility flows upward, because subordinate will always be responsible to the superior. Okay, so authority is the downward flow. Authority flows downward flow from the superior to the subordinate, but responsibility flows upward. Okay, because subordinate will always be responsible to his superior. Okay, this is the second element of delegation. Next, accountability. What is meant by accountability? That is, the employees or the subordinates perform their responsibility in their expected manner. So as per the responsibility which is given by the managers, they will start to work, or as per the expectation level. At that time, the accountability is created. So accountability means subordinates will be answerable for the non-completion of the task. If any work which is not completed due to some of the reasons, at that time employee should be answerable to the superior for non completing the task which is assigned to him. Okay, so accountability is the third and final step or element of delegation process. So this accountability cannot be paused or delegated, but authority can be delegated from the superior to the subordinate. Responsibility is also can be delegated from the subordinate to the superior, but accountability cannot be passed or delegated. Okay, it can only be shared with to whom? To the other subordinates. Okay, it is called as the accountability. Next one is What are all the importance of delegation of authority? Next one we are going to see about importance of delegation of authority. So the first one is reduction of executives workload, reducing the workload. So in the process of delegation, the managers are allowed to share their responsibilities and their work with the subordinates. With the help, what is the main aim? To reduce the workload of the managers. Okay, so with the process of delegation, the managers can able to pass all their routine work to the subordinates, and they can concentrate on their main work, important work, which is assigned by the management, that is organization. Without delegation, definitely the managers will be overburdened with their work. So it is one of the importance. Okay, next one is employee development. So as a result of delegation, the employees get more opportunities to utilize their talent, and there is more chances to improve their skill and efficiency level. So it allows them to develop their skill with help to perform and to complete the task within the given time. Okay, and the delegation is very helpful in making the better future managers. So definitely a today employee will be the tomorrow's managers by giving the chances to use their skill and gaining more experience in their work. Because what is the main aim? So it will be definitely give the promotion to the next level. So there is development of employees, okay, in the process of delegation. Next, quick and better decision are possible. Quick and better decision are possible. That is, the subordinates are granted sufficient authority, so they need not to go to their superiors for taking decisions. So there is a better and quick decision is possible in the process of delegation, because all the decisions, managers are giving some of the authority to the employees to take their own decisions relating to the work which is assigned to them. So there is no need for the employees to go to stand before the managers to discuss with the decisions which is created by them. So there is no need. So there is so they can able to reduce the that is a time factor. Relating to time factor, they can able to reduce the time, and they can utilize the time to complete the work by within the given time period. So it is one of the importance of the delegation. Next, high moral of subordinates. High moral of subordinates, that is, because of delegation of authority to the subordinates, they get an opportunity to display their efficiency and capacity. So they can improve their capacity and efficiency, and they can prove themselves in the work which is assigned to them to complete the task. Okay, the next one is better coordination. There is a better coordination. So in delegation, systematically responsibility and authorities is divided, and the employees are made answerable for the non-completion of the task to the managers. So this systematic division of work gives the clear picture of the work to everyone, to all the persons, and there is no chances of duplication in their work. So there is a clarity in their work on that is in the duties and the work which is assigned to the subordinates. So there is a proper relationship between the superior and the subordinates, and definitely there is a effective coordination among the superior and subordinates in the organization. Okay, the next one is we are going to see about centralization and decentralization. Centralization and decentralization. So first we are going to see what is meant by decentralization. So decentralization of authority means dispersal of authority to take decisions throughout the organization. So authority is distributed or divided throughout the organization to take decisions up to the lower level of the management. So up to the lower level, the authority will be divided among all the individuals in the organization to take the decisions. It implies reservation of some authority with the top level management and transferring rest of the authority to the lower level. So certain authority will be with the hands of the top level management and rest of the authority will be transferred to the other lower levels of the organization. Okay, so this empowers lower level to take the decisions. So it will giving the motivate. It is another way of motivating the employees and creating the confidence among the employees to take the decisions by themselves regarding the problems which is faced by them without having to go to the upper level. So the lower level employees are also having the authority to take the decisions in their work. Okay, which is delegated, that is divided by the superior to the subordinates. Okay, next. Some of the importance of decentralization. So it develops the initiative amongst the subordinate, that is it helps to promote the conference. I already told you that is a conference among the employees, giving the full freedom to take the own decisions relating to the work, and that is the best and better and quick decision because the person is having the freedom to take the decisions, no, so there is no need to stand before, that is same point, no need to stand before the upper persons to have the proper if there is a proper communication, the decisions can be taken by the lower level that is the subordinates itself. Okay, next. Another importance of decentralization is relieves the top executives from the excess workload. We already studied, no? So the workload of the managers will be reduced because he is assigning some of the work, and the decision making process also they are giving the full freedom to the employees. So definitely the workload factor, the burden of the manager is reduced. Next, there is a better control. So it makes it possible to evaluate the performance at each level, which results in a complete control over all the activities. So there is a better control, and even if they are giving the authority to the subordinates to take the decisions or some other that is giving all the authority, but the upper level management will evaluate the performance at each level. Okay, and which results in the complete control over all the activities. What are all the activities which is performing by the employees? All the activities will be evaluated or analyzed by the upper level management. So there is a better control in the decentralization. Next, managerial development. So it gives that is giving the authority to the subordinates up to the lower level to take the decisions regarding their work. So in this way, the opportunity to take the decisions definitely will help in the development of the organization also. So they will come forward and they will learn more to how to improve their skill from the other employees. There will be the proper communication between the employees. What are all the factors which is missing in their effect in their work? So they will take more steps to improve their ability, efficiency level by providing some of the training and learning from the other workers. So definitely overall there will be the development in the organization. So it is one of the importance of decentralization. Only on the behalf of the decentralization there is more development, overall development in the organization. The next one is we are going to see about centralization. What is centralization? Centralization refers to the process in which the activities involving planning and decision making within an organization and are concentrated to a specific leader. So all the planning activities and decision making is only concentrated only to the specific person. In centralized organization, the decision making powers are retained in the head office only. That is the centralization. In decentralization, they are delegating the authority to all the levels of the organization. But in centralization, the decision making powers is within the hand of whom? To the upper level management only. And all the other officers receive the commands from the main office. Okay, that is refers to the hierarchical level. That is from the scala, as per the scalar chain. That is the upper level or higher level, medium level and the lower level. From as per the hierarchical level, they will receive the commands from the head office and that has the authority to make the decisions. So when the decision making is kept at the top level, the organization will definitely having the full right to take the decisions by themselves. Okay, but comparing to the centralization, the decentralization is the easiest. That is it's now at present they are following the decentralization process. Okay, and decentralization is much more than is much more comfortable for all the individuals in the business organization, because it transferring of authority to the lower level. Okay, so it is very helpful for the person to develop their efficiency and motivating the employees, creating the confidence among the employees, reducing the burden of work to the managers. So centralization, decentralization, delegation, that is dividing the authority from the upper level to the lower level, is more encourageable, and it is following in the all the business organization. Okay, so this is the last topic. So this organizing chapter is over. So in this chapter we studied more, that is what is maybe organizing, what is the process, importance and organizational structure. There is a two types: functional organization structure and divisional organization structure. Okay. And in functional organization structure, we studied some of the specification and importance, advantages, disadvantages. In divisional structure also, we studied what are all the specifications and advantages and disadvantages. The next one is what is that? Delegation of authority. In delegation of authority, we studied about the meaning of delegation and what are the three elements of delegation: authority, responsibility and accountability. And next one is the centralization and decentralization. So these are all the topics covered in this chapter. So we finish this chapter. It's a very easy chapter. So be thorough in this concept, all this concept. Okay. So I already sent you some of the case studies. So today I will send you some of the worksheet relating to this chapter, organizing. Okay, so read the questions properly, understand the case study and finish the worksheet. Okay, thank you students.